What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Should have liked it so, but let's get into this. I like the Batman. I like Robert Pattinson. I don't make Twilight Sparkle jokes. I thought it was good. Yes, he should have bulked up more. I understand that people didn't like that the Bruce Wayne persona wasn't developed yet, but I liked seeing a new Batman finally working with the police. And the best thing I liked is Colin Farrell as Penguin, which I did not think I was going to, which is why I'm actually normally I'm like, stop doing shows without Batman in it. I'm actually completely fine with this Penguin show. This seems like it's going to be Sopranos in Gotham, and it's actually telling an intermediary story between the Batman and the second movie of what happens after the flooding of Gotham and everything is in disorder. And Batman's like in the background. You can probably feel his presence, but he's busy trying to hold the city together. Meanwhile, Oswald Cobblepot, time for him to make his move. So let's see. This just dropped. This is a 5-minute, like a story look about what we've got coming up.
I really wanted the story to begin the week after the movie, where the Penguin, who is completely underestimated, grabs for power in this power vacuum.
And this Penguin is not like most Oswald Cobblepots, where he's a member of the Cobblepot family, who, like the Waynes, is generational, wealthy, built Gotham. He's a bit more of a nobody who's really making a name for himself.
I loved playing the character in the film and designing the shape of Oz's body and his costume, and the whole thing was such a team effort. To only have 6 to 7 scenes in the film, I thought, is there any world we can do more?
The way the Penguin functions in the Batman is that he's a little bit of a red herring. What I really wanted to do was...
Why does Matt Reeves look like Jim Gordon? Jesus.
Build that story out. So that's really the birth of the show.
Oz was not in the movie that much, so there was ripe opportunity to really explore him in a deeper way.
And really get to try and understand his psychology. And so it's an extension of the Batman film. It's exploring a very different world, whereas the Batman lived in the upper echelons of the social structure of Gotham. This is...
Or echelons. I've heard it both ways.
It's down in the gutter.
The world ain't set up for the honest man to succeed. That should be a beautiful story with a happy ending. But that ain't the way the world works.
And yeah, I saw it too. Obligatory mixed race sidekick. They did the same thing in Tulsa King. It's fine. Certain check boxes must be appeased. I'm sure the kid's a good actor. If you just have enough good people in it, you can excuse. And the other thing is, it might not be that at all. That's the point of why all those pattern recognition of forced DEI casting is it puts everything into a, was he hired because that was the best person for the job, or just the best person of the type they were looking for, type of thing.
We get to see a different side of Gotham, those that are really affected by the corruption of the city.
This is how Gotham should look. To me,
what was very important is this idea of the high and the low. The idea of the parts of the city that are insulated, and then the people who are struggling just day to day to get by. The Penguin is really looking at the profound corruption of Gotham. It's a kind of a dark American dream story, really.
There are many gangs within Gotham, and they're all vying for real estate, and they're all vying for the drug trade.
And this is where I think it's going to get real interesting, and this could sort of the higher class of criminal type of thing, because Oswald, even the best versions of him in the comics, he's just more of a business owner. I know he's a business owner of the Iceberg Lounge, and he wants legitimacy, and he does criminal shit, but it's sort of like Batman is willing to overlook it because he'll get information or other things. And of all of the criminals, Oswald is maybe the least, as we might see more of a old school mafia, don't sell drugs to kids type of thing.
I thought about who should be a potential antagonist against Oz. What Matt established in the movie is that Carmine Falcone, who dies in the film, has a family. There's Alberto Falcone and there's Sophia Falcone.
And they're from the comics, and she's actually cuter here than she is in the comics, so.
My father's been dead a week. You want to take what's mine?
Carmine knew that Sophia was the smartest. He wanted her to really carry on the family. Dylan and I were very excited about how we could embody this rise to power of Oz in this battle of wills and who is going to come out on top.
You know, Oz,
People underestimate you, but not me. I've always known you were capable of more.
Oz always struggled in his life, so he's savvy in some ways in relation to the cruel mathematics of how the world works.
What is it you're
And Clancy Brown, what a win getting him.
really after, Oz?
I want what's mine.
When I first started to dissect Oz and figure out what was driving him, my realization was I think he wants to be loved and revered. To me,
And I think even the classic one wanted that. Danny DeVito, that's sort of how it was his take. He just wanted to be accepted. Yeah, I think that's always a through line with any penguin is acceptance, love, adoration,
that
power.
the deeper root issue would come from his mother. I wanted to write an interesting, complicated, tough as nails broad. And so I created Frances for that.
What you did wasn't impulsive. It was instinctual. This city is meant to be yours, sweetheart.
And we've seen these type of moms a billion times, so.
What are you going to do to get it?
The morally corrupt individual that is Oz, seeking ambition in the city, that was always sort of the blueprint for the character. And inside of that was an exploration that is deep, emotional, disturbing, and also exciting in an entertainment way, much like all great gangster movies or television shows.
I mean, this, if done right, it's going to be the fucking Sopranos. It's going to be Goodfellas, but he's going to live and we'll get to see him in further, or at least the second Batman movie.
Over the course of the show, these characters become larger than life in multiple different iterations.
They are all faced with the same decisions that we all have to make. They just choose different actions that we could never choose.
Oz knows the world is a cruel place, and you either get to live beneath the cruelty as a victim of it, or impose the cruelty on those who deserve it more than you.
Yo! Cosign.
These characters have been through tremendous trauma, and the idea about how all of that resonates against a place, and that Gotham is this place where people can live these forsaken lives, and it creates these lives of tremendous desperation, and it creates an emotional violence that ends up spilling out into the world of that city in physical violence. I think all of that, to me, is an exciting way of taking something that is this familiar pop, iconic, mythic place, fictional place, and trying to find a way to make it relate to the real world.
It's just close enough to the real world, but it still looks comic booky. You could still have just enough. It's a thin line, but they're walking it. Yeah, I am more excited about this than anything in the DCU right now, especially the more I hear and see about it. Yeah, again, I like the Batman. I like the third act. I think the third act is the whole point of that movie. And by the end of it, he realizes he can't just be Batman. He has to develop the Bruce Wayne persona and attack it from both sides, it being the problem of Gotham and crime and all that stuff. This just seems like it's going to be a great middle chapter before we get that second movie, which, if you believe the most recent talkings about it, might focus on the Court of Owls, which, what a win. Anyway, let me know what you think about all this. Let me know what this looked like to you. You think this could be forgettable? Do you just not care? Unlike me, you need Batman, or this isn't going to be it for you. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.